That night, the water didn't just rise. It roared, like it had something to prove. The sky collapsed into darkness. The wind cut through wood and bone, and a group of grown men who had spent their entire lives on that sea, began to believe they would never see land again. These were not strangers to danger. They had wrestled waves before, endured storms that would break lesser men. But this was different. The kind of storm that doesn't just threaten your life, it strips away your control, your confidence, everything you thought you understood about the world. And in the middle of that chaos, while the boat was filling with water, while panic spread from one man to another like fire, there was someone asleep. Not pretending, not unaware, just resting. And what happened next would leave every single man on that boat questioning reality itself, because within moments, the storm that was ready to take their lives would obey a voice. But before we go any further, before we uncover how a storm could be silenced with nothing but words, before we step fully into that night, before we dive deeper, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. We'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss any of our upcoming videos. To understand why that moment mattered, you have to understand who was in that boat. Jesus of Nazareth had already begun to change the rhythm of life across Galilee. People followed him not just because of what he said, but because of what they believed he could do. Stories had started to spread quietly at first, then louder with every passing day. The sick recovering, the broken restored, words that seemed to carry weight far beyond ordinary teaching. And yet, despite everything they had seen, the men closest to him, the disciples, still saw him through the lens of familiarity. Peter, a fisherman, hardened by years on unpredictable waters. James and John, brothers who knew the sea like it was part of their blood. Matthew, who had left behind a life of numbers and structure for something he didn't fully understand. They had chosen to follow Jesus, but like anyone else, they carried doubts they didn't always speak out loud. Because following someone is one thing, trusting them with your life in the middle of chaos is something else entirely. The Sea of Galilee was known for its sudden shifts. What looked calm at sunset could turn deadly before midnight. Cold air rushing down from the surrounding hills would collide with warm air rising from the water, creating violent winds that struck without warning. The disciples knew this. They respected it. They never underestimated it. So when they stepped into that boat with Jesus that evening, there was nothing unusual about it.